Hello Co-Crew, welcome back to another Jason Co video, and over the past couple of weeks and over the course of July, Spirit Halloween has been dropping a bunch of new animatronics for their 2026 lineup. Back on June 18th, Spirit dropped their first wave with 11 new animatronics, which I already made a video on that the same day. And instead of doing another massive drop with a plethora of animatronics, they've just been doing this strange schedule that they haven't really done before. They've been releasing, like 1 or 2 animatronics a week or every other week, which is something they've never really done before. I'm not really sure why they're doing that, but, okay. And I was originally going to wait till everything got released, but, I need to pump out some more content, so I'm just deciding to make the video now. So yeah, most of these props have been out for weeks, so most of this might be old news, or not might be, but is old news, but I haven't really gave my full opinion about them yet, so there's actually a few more props that haven't released yet, only a few more, and they could release while I'm recording or even editing this video, so I might either just add them into this video or I'll make a third video talking about their lineup, but we'll just have to wait and see. I mean, it would make sense because I am recording this on July 31st, which is the same day you'll probably be watching this, or this video will be posted, which is the day before the flagship grand opening event that takes place in Egg Harbor Township, New Jersey, which I am not attending! But my local store also opens tomorrow too, so yay. But anyways, we have a lot of animatronics to talk about, so without further ado, let's commence. First, we're going to start off kind of simple. This is also the first animatronic that they released during this like weird weekly or every other week type schedule. This is the black and green jumping spider, or as it's just known as the green jumping spider, but everyone calls it the black and green jumping spider, doesn't really matter, which stands at 21 inches tall and retails for $49.99. And I gotta say, this is probably my favorite jumping spider that Spirit has released so far. That could be just recency bias, as obviously he's new for this year, but I'm not saying he's my favorite jumping spider of all time, but he's definitely my favorite for Spirit-wise. I'll get to what my actual favorite one in general is in just a moment. But all he does is that he obviously just operates like every other jumping spider. He starts off in a resting position and then shoots up as a jump scare. But what is really cool about this new jumping spider is that it actually is blacklight reactive. It's got a blacklight in it, which I think is really cool. And if they didn't do it, it would be such a missed opportunity, because especially it's a black and green jumping spider. I had a theory that it was going to glow in the dark, or maybe have some sort of blacklight reactive technology in it, or some sort of light, and it does, so that is pretty neat. And it is pretty cool to see Spirit make a new jumping spider variant, because the last one we got was the gray jumping spider that released back in 2024, which I know last year we did get the burlap jumping spider. That was for a different company. It was originally supposed to go to Spirit, but it went to some other company called Mayer. It's like a store. I don't have any near me, but I have heard of the store. It went to there instead. And the burlap jumping spider is by far my favorite one of all time. But for Spirit-wise, definitely the black and green one. Anyway, so let's move on to the next one. On the Spirit site right now, and I just noticed not too long ago that they changed the site layout. I know this isn't really like big news or anything, but was this really necessary? I don't know, this looks too modern. I don't know. I like the old one better. I mean, doesn't really mean anything, but still, I don't know. It just bothers me. I don't know why.
Perfect timing. I was just about to cast a spell. Is it wealth, love, power, or luck that you desire?
Can you bring me good luck?
So, you want to roll the dice on luck? Nah, fine. It's just your life that you're gambling away.
Next up, we have Willow Witch, which stands at 5 feet and 9 inches tall and retails for $299.99. Now, I am not the type of person to really enjoy witch animatronics. I don't hate witches. I do like a couple of them, but they're not just the genre I go mainly crazy for. I'm more of a circus clown and also a pumpkin and harvest type of guy. Those are my two favorite genres. But I gotta say, Willow Witch is a witch that I actually really do enjoy. And I'll get to, like, her really unique, feature in a moment. But starting from her design, I think she's really awesome. I love how she's all hunched over. I love the staff with the ram skull on it. I think that's awesome. Also, when she speaks, she has, like, this servo motor in her mouth, which kind of moves her mouth, like left to right, which makes it look more realistic, which I think is pretty neat. I do like her design a lot. All she does is just move her head and speak, but this is the main showstopper. She has call and response technology. So with her, she will say a phrase. It's kind of like a story almost, and she'll give you different options. Luck, wealth, power, and love. This is not the only prop with this technology. I mean, it is for spirit, but there's another prop from a different company that I'll talk about briefly in a moment. So yeah, basically, she will say something to you out of the 4 options you pick, and she will listen to keywords that you said, and she will use them and continue the story, kinda, and she has different phrases for each option, and you can continue the conversation, which is pretty cool. You can finally talk to an animatronic, which is pretty neat. So, I mean, it's been rumored since December that we would be getting a prop with AI technology. It's actually call and response. This is not AI at all, which is good, because I am against AI, and I think it's pretty great that it doesn't use AI at all, so that's good. Anyways, what I was talking about, there's another animatronic from Home Depot this year called the Rotwing Parrot. It has the same technology, but with that prop, you could talk to it. That prop is more for, like, asking questions. This one's kind of like a story, and you have to go with it, which is the only downside. You can't really ask it, like, do you enjoy eating at Arby's? I don't know why that was the first thing that came to my mind, but okay. But with the Rotwing Parrot one, you could have more of, like, different conversations with it. This one is more of, like, a story. She gives you choices, and you have to pick which one of them, and pick one of them, and you'll continue the conversation like that. So kind of a downside. I used to think she was better than the parrot, but low-key now I prefer the parrot. But she's still awesome, and I think she's still pretty phenomenal. I mean, I don't know if I should say phenomenal, but she still is a pretty cool prop. Anyways, on to the next one.
When the night turns dark, you'll hear my melody.
Next up, we have the absolute GOAT, the man, the myth, the legend, Harmonica Hank. Yes, you heard me right, the GOAT, at least in my opinion, but I'll talk about more about my opinion in a moment. We have Harmonica Hank, who stands at 5 feet and 8 inches tall and retails for $199.99. I love this little goober so much. He is so adorable. I love him. Ah! When we first heard his name, a lot of people were automatically hating on him. People thought he was going to be a stupid concept. He's more on the family-friendly side. I'll get to that in a moment. But now a lot of people love him. I always was interested in, like, seeing him. I had a feeling he would have a serious amount of potential, and he does. And I know he's more on the family-friendly side. He still has an eerie, like, kind of aura about him. He sits on this, like, I don't know what you would call it, like a stick. I think it's a stake. I don't really know what you would call it. He sits on it, and he has a good amount of animation, too. He first he lifts up his head, and then he brings his arms holding the harmonica closer to his mouth and starts moving side to side to make it look like he's playing the harmonica. I think that is so adorable. But my favorite part, and a lot of other people's favorite parts about him, is his audio. I love the harmonica solo he does. I love how his phrases are written. But my favorite part about his audio is his voice. Oh my gosh, I want to know who voice acted Hank, because they did such an amazing job. His voice sounds so adorable. It sounds like Bobby Hill from King of the Hill, low-key. People also said it kind of sounds like Butters from South Park, or I forgot her name. I think it's Tilly from Big City Greens. But I need to animate Harmonica Hank going, "That's my purse!" I need to do that. That's something I really need to animate. But yeah, I just love Hank's voice. It brings him so much character, which, speaking of his character, his backstory is kind of sad. Poor dude just was, acting all innocent, just playing his harmonica. And then a bunch of the neighborhood kids decided to gather around him and just lead him into the dark fields and just leave him alone there. Damn, a lot of the spirit stories are genuinely getting more depressing and dark and sad this year. Jeez. Please comment hashtag justice for Hank. We need to spread the word about this. I'm just kidding. That would be kind of funny. But yeah, I love Hank, especially his character and his voice with that little southern twang he has. Just gives him so much character. And the prop itself is pretty neat. Also, I forgot to mention, he also has Bluetooth compatibility, similar to Trick or Treat Pete from last year, where if you don't want his phrases, you could hook up your own sound to him too. As y'all would probably guess, yes, I'll definitely be playing some Michael Jackson on this fella. Although it would look kind of weird because he's playing the harmonica, and then, like, imagine just having, like, Smooth Criminal just playing, and it's just him playing the harmonica. It doesn't really make sense, but still, yeah, definitely plan on getting him when my store opens. I don't know when, but my local store opens tomorrow. Same thing with a lot of other spirits, including the flagship grand opening, as I stated earlier. So I'm definitely going to get him maybe in the next upcoming week or so. So stick around for that. Next up, we have the Screaming Reaper, which stands at 3 feet and 3 inches tall and retails for $149.99. And yeah, he's just a Reaper that screams. I'm just joking. There's more to say about Screaming Reaper. Screaming Reaper is another one of those pop-up jump scare animatronics that we've been receiving lately with Little Skelly Bones in 2022, the pop-up version, not the swinging version, obviously, Dagger Mike in 2023, Dark Princess in 2024, Trixie in 2025, and now Screaming Reaper in 2026. I really love him. He's probably my favorite out of all of them. He's just like a generic Halloween-y type Reaper, but still, I do like him. Now, I will admit, he did grow off me a tiny bit, but not too much, and I do want to try to get him as well. He's also outdoor rated, which is a pretty neat little touch. I love the prop, and I really love his character as well. Anyways, let's move on to the next one.
I want revenge. No!
The next one we have is one of their more bizarre animatronics of this year, or more bizarre characters. This is Bogmonster, who stands at 3 feet and retails for $299.99. I've heard some mixed opinions about this dude. Some people really like him, some people really don't. He kind of resembles, like, I don't even know what he is. He's like one of those creatures that you just really don't know what they are. He's kind of like this dragon or like skeletal type creature. I mean, in his backstory, which usually in their stories, most of the time they reveal like what the creatures are, like how they became creatures. With him, they just describe him as like a giant reptilian beast. So I guess that's the best way to call him, but that kind of makes his character more mysterious, which I do enjoy. And one thing that a lot of people really don't enjoy about him is his audio. People really don't enjoy, it's kind of like a pet peeve to some people that he has phrases. Personally, I don't really mind it. Although, would I think he would be better if he didn't have phrases? Yes, 100%. But do I hate that he has phrases? No, not at all. It just doesn't really suit his character. It would make more sense if he just like roared or make some sort of like animalistic sound. I mean, he does roar and make sounds like that, but then he speaks after that, so yeah. But I personally like him. I don't like, he's not one of my favorites, but he's definitely one I do enjoy. I'm trying to make an art of him, but I cannot get his head shape correctly. Oh my god, drawing him is such a pain. And he will be in the Jason Coe show in a future episode as well, so that's going to be tough. Yeah, I do enjoy him. I'm a certified Bogmonster enjoyer, I will say. Just not a glazer. And as for his animation, it's just kind of simple. He first is in this resting position, and then he like bops his head up as a jump scare. He's pretty neat. I cannot wait to see him in person. But anyways, let's move on to the next one.
Round and round I go. Where will my knife land? Nobody knows.
Next up, we got Whirling Wendy, who stands at 5 feet and 5 inches tall and retails for $249.99. I gotta say, I really like her. I actually, more than like, I love her. Genuinely, she grew on me so much. Yeah, I've heard some people really dislike her, like, have pure hatred towards her. And then there's some people who just, like her, but then there's a lot of people who absolutely adore her. She's really a mixed and controversial animatronic, but I think she's really neat. I like her design. I love her color scheme. It's very similar to Neon Nightmare, which I actually do ship them. Just one of my little headcanons. And her animation, her skirt rotates 360 degrees. So does her head, which I think is really cool and a really unique animation. Some people find the animation to be quite stupid. I actually think it's pretty neat. And very unique. And she's a knife thrower clown, as you've seen holding a bunch of knives, and it's also revealed in her story that ever since she was a child, she had an obsession with knife throwing and knives in general, which I think is really cool to her character, and I really like the lore that Spirit gave her. It's also just refreshing to see a brand new female clown that isn't connected to a previous male clown. Which Spirit doesn't really do too much female clowns, neither do we see a lot of them in the retail market, but yeah, Whirling Wendy, I do enjoy her, she's pretty cool. And yeah, I adapted to calling her Wendy. I used to call her Fiona Frazzles by mistake. That was her original code name that everyone was familiar with, and then it got revealed her name was Wendy, and I still ended up calling her Fiona, but I adapted to calling her Wendy pretty well, so yeah. But anyways, let's move on to the next one.
In dark of night.
This next one is one that's kind of pointless to talk about, but I'm still going to do it anyway because some people are hyped about his return. But this is Mr. Dark, who shoots up to 8 feet and 9 inches tall and retails for $329.99. I'm not really going to talk about him too much, but he is a new returning prop for this year. And he was originally from 2021, last sold in 2022. And I'm not really sure why Spirit brought him back. He was a fan favorite, but he is very recent as he came out in 2021 and was last sold in 2022. So a very recent return from a prop that came out technically 5 years ago. Yeah, I think he's pretty neat. I mean, over the past couple of years since 2023, they've been reskinning him, making him into different characters using the same mechanism. This year they didn't do that, and they just brought back the main man himself, and he's actually he's an online only as well. But yeah, he's pretty neat. There's another returning prop that's more hyped and more anticipated, being Dead Humor, which I'll talk about when he officially releases in another video. But yeah, that's Mr. Dark. Wasn't gonna include him in the video, but I just decided to. It's kind of a pointless return anyway, but it's still sort of cool to see him back, but, not really something I'm going crazy for. But anyways, next one. Next up, we have the Pennywise animatronic, officially licensed from the It Welcome to Derry TV show, which stands at 6 feet and 10 inches tall and retails for $299.99. Not really much I'm going to say about it. I do think it's pretty neat. We have seen Pennywises before, but this one's licensed from the Welcome to Derry TV show, which I actually haven't seen, which is, I know, it's crazy. I got logged out of my HBO Max account. Or our subscription expired. I honestly kind of forgot, but I'll watch it soon. Don't worry. I'll find a way. This animatronic just kind of lunges out. Not really as a jump scare, kind of more slowly, but I guess it could work as one. Its mouth kind of stretches too. It's neat. I like it. People don't really like it, but I personally like it. Yeah, not really what I'm going crazy for, but definitely one that I don't really see the hate. I think it's pretty neat in my opinion. I'd probably like it more if I watched Welcome to Derry, but I think it's cool. This next one is a very hyped up licensed prop. This is Jason, licensed from Jason Universe. It stands at 5 feet and 11 inches tall and retails for $299.99. I gotta say, this dude's like kind of mid. He's all right. I don't hate him. I would say he's more all right. Maybe not mid, but more all right. I'm not really too much of a big fan of the Friday the 13th franchise. I mean, I know this one's not licensed from the original Friday the 13th movie. It's actually licensed from Jason Universe. Yeah, I mean, he basically moves from side to side and does this like little motion with his arm holding the machete, and playing some audio, I'm assuming, from Jason Universe. Which actually, in December, when we first got the look of his prototype in the factory demo video, he actually had a different motion where he kind of moved and like side to side and then lifted his arm and then just kind of swayed it as kind of a jump scare. They changed that because I think it was rumored that it was very faulty. There's plenty of rumors of this guy being canned, which again, because this year is a Camp ISC, Camp Harbor Lake, it would have been a huge missed opportunity not to have him in there. But yeah, I'm really excited to see him in person. He is getting a lot of late shipments, so I don't know if my local store actually will have him, but a lot of stores actually got him already, so there's a chance mine will. But yeah, he's cool, but more of all right. Not something I really go crazy for. But yeah, anyways, on to the final one we'll talk about. Also, something I forgot to mention is that him and Pennywise aren't available to buy yet. Their pages are up, but they say they're coming soon. So I'm going to assume that they may drop tomorrow because it's flagship or this upcoming week. But the other ones that I talked about previously, you could buy, except just Pennywise and Jason. And then the next one I'm going to talk about too, but he's in store only. But anyways, let's get on to him. Alright, he didn't really have an official full demo video on the website. He doesn't even have his own website page because he's an in-store only prop. But this is the most hyped up licensed prop probably ever, or for spirit-wise, or like how I just said, probably ever, or one of the most hyped up animatronics just of all time. Freddy Fazbear, officially licensed from the video game franchise Five Nights at Freddy's. He stands at 6.6 feet tall and retails for $500, $449.99. He is awesome. Yeah, so it's kind of rumored. People were confused if he would be sold online or he would be like a Young He situation like last year where they had the side display with Young He, who is an in-store only, and actually a display piece prop. With Freddy, he's not like Young He. You don't have to put your name down or anything. At least I'm pretty sure. But you have to ask for an employee to get they have limited stock or something. But I really love him. He looks so game accurate. One of my locals, not my main local, but one of my locals actually had him set up through the window, and he looked incredible. So game accurate. Like how I said in my leak video I made earlier this month, I'm not really a big fan of Five Nights at Freddy's. I played some of the games. I do think the games are pretty neat. There's a lot of interesting lore to the game and everything. But I have seen both movies, and I just think it's astonishing that you could finally own your own Freddy Fazbear animatronic. That is just mind-boggling to me. That you can now own your an official Freddy Fazbear animatronic, a life-size Freddy Fazbear. Definitely one of the most hyped up animatronics of all time in the retail market. And he's also manufactured by Party Time. I mean, they did a pretty good job on it. People think he might be a bit faulty. He does have servos, which I love servos. Jason had servos too. I forgot to mention that. But I love how his eyes flicker with the music. That is really awesome. In the game when you're about to die, when he's about to jump scare you. I think that's pretty neat. Once again, I'm still amazed that we're finally getting a life-size Freddy Fazbear animatronic. And yeah, we knew this guy since December. Well, same thing with literally every other prop from the lineup, or most of every prop from this lineup. But yeah, really excited to see him in store, in person, right in front of me. It's gonna be absolutely crazy. But yeah, good luck if you're trying to get him, because it's gonna be hard. So yeah. But anyways, that is going to conclude this video. I gotta say, Spirit is doing an absolute killer job this year. No pun intended. I mean, I don't know what I'm supposed to make a pun about, but, you know, just... All right, forget it. But anyways, yeah, Spirit's just knocking it out of the park this year. And there's like 3 more props that haven't really fully released yet. That being Dead Humor, Darcy Doom, and Ghostface. Ghostface demo got leaked as I was recording this, but he didn't really fully drop, so I'll talk about him in another video. I mean, the hype is real. Flagship is tomorrow. Spirit has this whole like little countdown thing on their site for Freddy. They're doing such an amazing job marketing Freddy. Oh my gosh. And yeah, so I'm trying to get this video, like, it's actually like, it's about to be 12 o'clock in the morning, like in less than an hour. So I'm trying to get this video out like right before August 1st. But anyways, I hope, and if you guys are going to Flagship, which unfortunately I will not be attending on grand opening day, I wish you a really fun and safe time there. Hopefully have a lot of fun, and hopefully you get the props that you really want and just have an awesome time. But anyways, guys, see you in another video. Thanks for being the best audience ever, and thanks for sticking with the co-crews.